great wealth transfer will soon happen. If you have any sense of what's going on in the world right now, then you will be very aware that pretty much 95% of all the money in the world, all the wealth in the world, lies with evil Satanists. The vast, vast majority of resources on this planet goes towards evil people and their evil deeds. It goes towards funding wars, goes towards funding the drug trade, money laundering, gangsterism, big central banking, which is just institutionalized gangsterism, death cults, satanic cults that want to kill you and reduce the population down to 500,000. Pretty much all of the money in the world is exactly where it shouldn't be. And what we're facing right now is a time that was prophesied in the Bible, which is the time of Judgment Day, the time when Christ will return. Now, many Christians have different interpretations on what that means. I personally think it means that Christ himself isn't returning as an entity. What instead is going to happen is that Christ consciousness is going to permeate the normal population. And so what that means is normal, ordinary, day-to-day people who are good people are going to start behaving and thinking like Christ did, rather than behaving and thinking like cowardly idiots like they have for the past 2,000 years. That might sound harsh, but I mean, come on, let's be real. We saw what people were really like during COVID, during 2020 and 2021. And the consensus, or the vast majority of normal people, was that they were just cattle. And the government could basically tell them to do anything. You want to put this experimental vaccine into your body that hasn't been tested and is got all kinds of dodgy stuff in it. Well, we've done a big psychological operation to make sure all your friends are doing it and to make sure that you'll feel bad if you don't do it. So you better go ahead and do it. And what we've seen over the past 3 years since COVID is we've seen a drastic shift away from that mentality as people have started to cotton on to how bullshit the entire world really is. People are really starting to get fed up of it, and they're really starting to look for alternative ways of living, rather than living in this world of hell, basically, because we do effectively live in hell at the moment. What the Judgment Day promises is the day when normal people who have learnt all of their lessons and aren't evil anymore will be lifted out of hell and will be ascended into heaven. And I think a part of that is going to be a monumental wealth transfer. All of these gangsters, all of these money launderers and Satanists and billionaires who have absolutely fucked humanity over, purely for fun, might I add. They haven't done it for any big grand reason. They've just done it because they think it's funny. It's their idea of sport. They love it. They can't get enough of it. Those people are going to find all of the resources that they've hoarded for the past 10,000 or so years. Those people are all going to find those resources being redistributed to people who deserve it. Now, who are people who deserve it? They are ordinary people. You don't have to be an absolutely pure, perfect person, because such a person doesn't exist. Everyone's got shadows. Everyone's got skeletons in the closet. But I think what is to come is a new financial system. A financial system that will possibly honour what all the monetary values that have come before, but will, from a set point onwards, determine what money goes to who based on how compassionate and loving you are to your fellow human beings and how much you serve your fellow human beings compared to just serving yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that I think whatever you have earned thus far in the current monetary system, I think will be honoured going forward. And I think what it's going to be very simple. It's going to be one day when the entire system cannot go any further and Christ consciousness has fully returned to planet Earth. Then what's going to happen is it's going to be said that anything you've earned up until now in the current monetary system you can keep, but from this point forward, your wealth will be wholly determined by your service to humanity. So it effectively becomes a spiritual meritocracy, which is effectively the one true utopia. Let's be real. A spiritual meritocracy is where you are rewarded financially for your spiritual contributions to society, which is all that really matters at the end of the day. And so if you're a selfish, low-life cunt who serves only themselves and wants to go on big wine parties every night and piss away public taxpayer money on big mansions for yourself and fancy dinner parties, then you, in the eyes of God, will find yourself poor, and you will find yourself out on your ass. And many of them will probably find themselves not allowed on planet Earth anymore, and they will have to leave because horrible, evil people will not be allowed in this future equestrian paradise that we have lined up for us. And so what is the point of making this video? I think the point of me making this video is really to assert to you that you shouldn't be a doomer about the way the world currently is. The world right now is literally hell. Like I said, 95% to all of the resources on this planet go towards the people who it should go towards the absolute least. And that's just the way it is right now. However, all the signs clearly indicate that we are mere years or even months away from something drastically changing. And I think that big drastic change will be the beginning of a wealth transfer. Not for the sake of reparations or anything cringe like that, because that's just egotism and narcissism playing out, but for the sense of wanting the divine resources of planet Earth to go to people who are going to spend them in a way that will forward that money on to the future generations, rather than having it just piss away in a feedback loop of death and destruction. Don't be a doomer. Find God, find faith in spirituality, and realize that if you are a good person, then big wealth is coming to you very soon. And all you have to do is stay strong, keep being a good, honest person, earning your money honestly, and you will find on Judgment Day that you will be very favourable indeed.